Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial we're going to look at if-else if. So in the last tutorial I created this project where we have we output a menu and we ask the user to enter their selection, and then we take different actions depending on the range of values that are entered. Well, here we're checking to see if they entered a specific value, and here we're checking ranges. What we usually want to do with a menu like this is to check each of the possible values. So we don't really, it's not elegant at all, it's quite ugly to have multiple if-elses in your program. What we want is one statement that can check all of these different values, and we can do that with a if-else if statement. So let's delete this here, and if you've tried the code yourself from the previous tutorials, then you should find this pretty easy, hopefully. So I'm going to type here if, and let's say value, that's the value that the user entered, equals 1. And then we can say cout adding new record ... Endler. And of course you could have anything in this menu, it's just a made up example. And we've seen that you could have an else on there. But what we can also do is we can type else space if value equals 2, and then we can say let's say cout deleting record, and we can have as many of these else if clauses as we like. Be sure that you don't leave any blank lines under here, because it'll compile, that'll still run, but it just looks really messy. And also be very, very careful to indent the stuff between these brackets with an extra tab. And it's good practice, I think, when you're beginning especially, to just use the auto format anyway, just to double check. Go to right click source, format, just to double check that your formatting is good. That's a really important thing to get right. Okay, so let's copy this else if, and we'll have 3 more of them. 2, 3. So we can check 3, 4, and 5, and I'll use the shortcut, which is on the Mac is Command-Shift-F, to format these to save me some time. And so option 3 should be viewing record, let's say. Option 4, we can have searching, and probably should say initiating search or something, but you get the idea. And we can also combine else if-else if with else. So what if they enter some other value here that isn't 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? We can say finally here else and cout invalid option. So what's going to happen here is the compiler, well, the program is when it's compiled, is going to work down these different options one after the other, and as soon as it finds one that evaluates to true, it's going to stop there. So you can only have only one of these options is going to execute, and that's important to keep in mind. So we're going to check here, is the value 1? If not, go to the next one. Is it 2? If not, next one. Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? And else, if it's none of those, we're going to do this. So let's output this now. Let's run it. So let's check 1, adding new record. Let's try 5, quitting. Let's add something else. Let's try some other input like 0 or 500 or something. And it says invalid option. So another really important basic building block of C++. So to practice this, probably the best way is create your own menu here and check the different options and use an if-else if-else. So it should be pretty simple if you followed the last tutorials. So in the next tutorial, I think what we'll do is we'll look at some more advanced conditions, because you can combine conditions. And I want to get on as soon as possible, really, to looking at loops, because that even makes the program a whole other level of interesting. and gives you a lot more power. But we've got maybe one or two little things to look at before we get to loops. So that's it for this tutorial. You can find more videos on my website, which is caveofprogramming.com, like a huge amount of free stuff there. And until next time, happy coding.